Hey friends, so it's Monday, fresh start. Feels like kind of a leftover Monday since it's the last day of the month. I don't know about you, but it just feels weird. Whatever. Anyway, so we're kicking off another round of our consistency challenge. And I want to talk about nutrition because maybe you're like me and nutrition is your focus. And if it's not, if you're not really sure where to begin, well then cool, this video is perfect for you because you can kind of walk through it with me and figure out where you need to check. So first things first, I took a couple screenshots and I shared them in a post just now. If you log into your Beachbody On Demand, there's a nutrition tab. And you can, even if you haven't recently purchased a challenge pack, if you just have the quarterly Beachbody On Demand subscription, you'll still have access to that nutrition tab. And you can click on what's available to you and it will explain the two different programs. So Beachbody has two different nutrition programs. One is the container system. It's using these to make sure that you are fueling your body properly. You guys, I don't believe in bad foods. I think there's some foods that are less good for us, right? But in general, we need all the different food groups to fuel our bodies and our brains. It's really important for muscle recovery and just to get the results that you want. I don't believe in cutting out any food group. I'm talking about carbohydrates, okay? I think it's just really important. So both the programs that I'm gonna talk about go into that sort of thing. But you do you. At the end of the day, I'm not a nutritionist. I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm just going to shine the light as your coach and share what has worked for me and what hasn't. So the containers really intimidated me when I was brand new. They sat in the package like this for a really long time, a couple weeks before I finally got them out. And then once I started using them, I thought I was going to be like one of this and one of that. Like, this is all the food I'm going to have. You guys, it's so not that. I believe, from my own personal experience on the fix, I've never really been hungry unless my workouts are super crazy. I've always felt satisfied, and it's always given me the wiggle room I need to have the things that I want. So that's the one option. The other option is the 2B Mindset, which is more of an intuitive eating program, and there's a ton of videos you can watch or talk about it. I tried doing this since April. It's just not my jam. I like structure. I like lists. And for me, the container system just works better with my brain. But some of you need something that's a little more fluid and adaptable. And if that's the case, cool. You do log everything. You don't have to have this tracker. If you have access to both nutrition programs, which you get with every challenge pack now, you can print off the pages just to get an idea. You could use a journal, a notebook. It doesn't have to be fancy, but it is a really great program, and I know people that have lost a lot of weight that have felt really, really good. This, to me, it's not fitting my life. So it's a brand new week, and I was like, let's go and revisit this. Let's talk it through with you guys because a lot of you are also wanting to revisit your nutrition. And so, yeah. So anyways, I shared a couple screenshots. I love my TV. I love using my Fire Stick and my Roku when I'm going to stream my workouts. But when you want to get program materials, I use my phone or my laptop, okay? So if you log in, if you purchase a challenge pack so you have access to both of these programs, when you log into Beachbody On Demand and you click on the nutrition tab, it'll give you a ton of different options, one of which is 2B Mindset. She takes you through all the different videos and explains how she does this. She explains how it fits your life. She explains how there's no such thing as bad foods, right? And then there's also a bunch of videos explaining the containers and giving recipes, and she takes you through the grocery store. She has a ton of videos. In fact, they've actually refilmed the program to simplify it. So I wanted to give you a couple cliff notes. If you're like, I'm going to do the containers with you, where do I find all this stuff? Okay, so finding your calorie bracket. There's a video for it, but I don't have time for a video. I just want to look at the stuff, okay? I want to use my calculator and I want to be done with it, okay? So the video is number 10 if you want to watch the video. Otherwise, the slide on the workbook, which you can access on your tablet, phone, or laptop, is page number 41. I lied to you, page 40, okay? And it talks about how to find your calorie bracket. It also talks about carb cycling. It talks about time nutrition, which a couple of the different programs do that. If you're overwhelmed with the containers, It sounds counterintuitive, but I think using the time nutrition really simplifies it because it tells you, it breaks it down simple style. This is the containers you need to have. This is the time you eat it so that you're not at the end of your day with 40 reds or whatever, which nobody has 40 reds, but just saying, okay? Okay, so finding your calorie bracket. There's a few different options. Like if you're not working out, I always just use the one that I am working out at moderate intensity. The cliff notes on that is if you are working out at a moderate intensity, you're doing MBF, you're doing 9-week control freak, T Transform 20, Lift 4, I don't know, basically most of the programs. Why am I showing you so much boob today? It's Monday. Calm down. You take your current weight. It's not your dream weight, your current weight. I currently weigh 155. Hi, Heather. You multiply that by 11, okay? Then you add 400 to that number, which is the calories you're probably going to burn in the workout you do. And if you are wanting to lose or get to your ideal area, then you're going to subtract 750. So my current number, my calorie bracket is 1355, which puts me, I think, in bracket number A. And then if you scroll down in here to slide number 46, it's called Finding Your Calorie Bracket, Choose Your Plan. It breaks it down and it gives you a range. So it's not like you have to be obsessive compulsive with measuring all the things and looking at all the packages. I tried the Whole30 and it seriously messed me up. It really put me in a bad headspace. And I think that's why this is kind of not working for me, because it's that continuous weighing. It's the number, and it just, even though there's numbers with this just feels better to me. And it also, I'm kind of on either side of the spectrum. I either don't eat enough or eat too much. It's hard for me to kind of just stay right where I need to be unless I'm doing this. So this just works better for my life. So portion plan A, it gives you a calorie target range, okay? The bracket I'm in is 1,200 to 1,400 to about 1,500 calories. So I will have 4 servings of greens, okay, which I always go over on my greens, whatever. 2 servings of purples, 4 servings of red. My Shakeology is 1 red. 2 servings of yellows because carbohydrates are really important. 1 serving of blue, that's healthy fats. That's your avocado and stuff like that. Maybe it's your cheese. Again, it's not the devil. It's important to have these things. Your brain freaking needs carbs. Your brain freaking needs fats, you guys. So critical. And then orange is my seeds and dressings. I don't take a bath with my dressing. I also love ranch. So whatever. I think it's all fine. And then there's a teaspoon, which it doesn't come with this, okay? Use your own. And so I get 3 of those, which is really just my peanut butter spoon because I'm not crazy about measuring my oil. That being said, you can make this a lifestyle, wine is going to be one of my yellows. It's going to be one of my carbohydrates. It just is. That is what works for me. So that once you figure out where you're at, then you need to figure out a tracking system. You can use your BOD app. You could use other apps if you want. I'm a pen to paper kind of girl. So what I'm going to do, I wrote down, I revisit this, and I'm asking you to revisit as well. Autumn just made a post about this. You know how many you're supposed to be having, or you think you know, and you think you know what that proper serving size is, but revisit it, you guys. It's important for all of us to do. It's kind of a slippery slope. The size of our portions as Americans, which most of us are, they tend to be larger than we actually need and just kind of off kilter. So I'm encouraging you to revisit it. It's a Monday. We're moving into a new month. Even if you're in the middle of a program, it's the perfect opportunity to revisit it. If you weigh more and you're in a larger bracket, you're going to freak out, okay? There's a ton of food. A lot of us, when we want to lose weight, we restrict our food a ton, and that is not what you want to be doing. I found with my gals who need to lose a lot, they usually are not eating very much, and that's part of the problem. Your metabolism is getting all jacked up. It's confused, and so it seems counterintuitive to eat more, but that's how you keep your metabolism revved and stoked. Autumn talks so much more about it. She's a nutritionist. I'm just a normal human being, but I've been doing this for 6 years. I've worked with multiple people who've lost over 100 pounds using the portion fix. It can be done. It has been done. It will continue to be done. And if you are not seeing the results with your workouts and you're actually showing up to them consistently, then you need to revisit your nutrition, okay? So It's not sexy. It's not fun. That's why I have made it my challenge for this week, for my own personal consistency challenge. So how is it going today, Sarah, you ask? Well, my containers are still in their package, and I'm just now at 4:30 p.m. sitting down to figure out how many containers I'm supposed to have. So clearly today hasn't been stellar rock star, but I'm not going to count it as a fail because it's just being a work in progress and realigning. Does that mean I'm gonna like roll around naked with Oreos? Well, I might if my grocery store was open, but it's not. So no, I'm not going to. I'm just going to do my best, and I'm going to track what I've eaten so far. I'm going to figure out where I'm at, and then I'm going to start to fuel my body, okay? If you are in the same boat and you're like, oh man, I just had a bunch of potato salad, and I had 2 ice cream sundaes, and then I had a blizzard, and then I just had 4 beers. Well, way to be a show off, number one. And number two, drink some freaking water, move your freaking body. And I want you to still write it down. I want you to track it however that works for you, whatever that looks like, and just see how you feel tomorrow. I can tell you there's been days where I go over on my carbs and I actually see a bump. I actually see a difference. I can tell that my body maybe needed that. So if you have been super, super rigid and you're restricting yourself crazy town, trust the process, okay? Trust the process. So, like I was starting to say, you can track it on apps. I've shown you in the past, I just take a piece of paper like this, and I put it on my fridge, and I will make a little box for all the different colors. Green is obviously green. The greens are green. The fruits are purple. My proteins are red. And then I just write underneath how many of each is my goal, and I just go through and I just hash mark, like as I go through my day. That is what works best for me. It's so funny how we think we need all these fancy tools when we really don't. So your gut check. What is your consistency challenge? What is your commitment going to be? Is it water? Is it nutrition? Is it rest? Is it not pushing pause? Is it the same thing you needed to work on last week? If it is, it doesn't mean you failed. It just means that you have a habit that is super ingrained. And so it's going to take you a little bit longer to change it, to not, I don't want to say reverse your habit, but just to alter it, and that's okay, okay? So this is your race. You're going to have 4 weeks this month to pick a brand new thing. I don't want you to pick more than one. I just want you to do one at a time until you feel like that was a successful week. I feel like I can continue doing this and add something else in without getting overwhelmed. I don't want you to get overwhelmed. It's not about how fast you get there. It's not about how perfectly you do it. It really is about your awareness to whether or not you're sabotaging, and what is your trigger, and why are you off track, and how can you get back on track. So if you do have a day where you're super off track, I want you to celebrate the fact that you actually recognize it, that you stop it before you wreck it, right? And you just pick back up where you left off. You just start fresh every single day, okay? If you have questions about any of that, how you figure any of that out, let me know, or your coach, if that's not me. This is your journey, right? So run it and be proud of it, okay? Cool. So I will be live in this group the next couple of days doing my morning daily energy practice with you. I want to introduce you to a few other things throughout the week so you can try them with me as I share live or after the fact, whatever. YOLO, you do you, okay? So I'm going to schedule a bunch of posts so that you guys have lots of value. I hope that you show up this week. I hope that you choose yourself. And that whatever you pick for your consistency challenge, it's something honest, and it's something that you need and can do. Because I know sometimes I do this too. Every single week I fill out my planner, and sometimes it's really easy to write down the things that are just like easy checks, like, yeah, I can. But I'm asking you to not do I'm asking you to pick something in the middle, something that you need help realigning, that's not necessarily easy, but also something that's not so impossible you won't get to it every day. I want you to have victory. I want you to win. And the way that you get momentum, the way that you find motivation is by finding that middle ground, that thing that you know you need to do, but that you can actually do. Don't say you're going to run 5 miles a day if you've never run before, okay? Pick something that is in the middle, something that will get you momentum, something that you can be proud of at the end of the day, at the end of the week, at the end of the month, that's going to propel you closer to that version of yourself you want to be. That is where your power is at, okay? You don't need anything special or secret saucy. You just need you. You just need to make the commitment. You need to plug into the accountability, and then you need to take the daily action. Cool? Cool. All right, I'm going to make my super high-tech fancy tracker thing. I'm going to log where I'm at for the day, and then I'm going to do a little bit more work and catch up on my messages. So if you need anything from me, you can message me and I'll get back in touch with you either today or tomorrow. But I just want you to know that you can do this. Don't allow it to overwhelm you. Don't be like, oh my gosh, that seems so complicated. I don't know where to start. You start by looking it up in the online thingamajigger and the Beachbody On Demand. You just start, and you don't have to have it all figured out. It doesn't have to be 100% in order for you to begin and get traction. Don't be a collector of information. Be a person who takes action and figures it out as you go.